What's up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. If you are just coming to my channel for the first time, what's up? My name is Holly and I am a fresh RN BSN nurse. Wow, that's crazy to flip and say. RN, registered nurse. I'm a nurse. What? I have no idea if anybody's going to see this or not, but today is January 15th, 16th? I think it's the 16th. It's the 16th. I take my Nclex in 3 days. This is my face. Tears, bawling because I'm just not doing well. Studying has been okay. I'll be doing like really well, and then I'm doing really shitty towards like, it's always the lower half of the day that I just like spiral. I had to go get a coffee because my friend sent me some money to go get a coffee, so I was like, shit, I'm going to get out of here. But oh my god, that's so strong. I just wanted to share this because regardless of me posting this, if I passed or not, studying sucks. You're going to feel like you're not doing well. I feel like that very strongly right now. I keep missing stuff I thought I knew. A lot of them are like select all that apply things. Like I just like keep missing them, and it's so frustrating. Like I don't know what else to do, because clearly if I don't know it at this point, like I'm obviously not going to know it at all. That's kind of my thought. I don't know. This is my diary. We'll report back. Well, everybody, this is January 17th. My best friend takes her boards today. My other friends take their boards tomorrow, and I take mine Saturday. I just keep hearing stories about how people fail, and it could be 75, it could be 76. I want to throw up, so I'm gonna go home. It's 11:32 right now. I'm gonna go home, eat something, and then crank out what I can. Good morning, guys. It is Nclex day. It is the 19th, so today is my day. I'm really nervous. Like shitting my pants nervous. I don't even know. Like, I can do this. Hi guys, so it's currently 4:45. I obviously took off all of my makeup because it just was getting too much. So I did this Pearson VUE trick, that everybody talks about, and I got the good pop-up, but it's 4:46 and still don't know if I passed or not. I hope that this all works out and this video can be helpful to somebody, but at the moment this is the worst day of my life, so, but I share everything with you guys, right? So, still waiting. Okay, you guys, I've been doing like all of this on my freaking phone because I don't really know why, I just have been. So I'm viewing the status of my application and I'm gonna show you guys. I don't know why I can't switch this right now. Maybe I can. No, I can't. So my license now says ready issue, which my best friend yesterday, when she got hers, not yesterday, a couple days ago, when she got hers, it said ready issue, and then it showed her license number. So, hang on. Alright guys, well first of all, I'm going to acknowledge the fact that I have long hair now. If you don't follow me on Instagram and Snapchat, you should, right here, go. I recently got NBR extensions, so if you want to learn more about those, let me know. I can do a whole video on it too. It was definitely a graduation present investment. Had to think about it for a long time, but I'm absolutely obsessed. I love it so much. So yeah, that's that. The main point of this video is for me to sit down and tell you guys about my Nclex experience. I just found out today, obviously as you've seen in the clips earlier, that I passed my boards, and I don't even know where to even feel or think, because it has just been the most roller coaster of a journey that I can I really can't form the words to tell you guys what the feeling is like. When I woke up this morning, I went to Orange Theory and did a workout at 8:15, and I knew that it wasn't going to be up yet. So I just was kind of like, the wait has already been so long that I was just like, I'm gonna go home, I'm gonna look this up, and I'm gonna see it. But seeing it actually on the screen, I'm showing you guys right now, probably seeing that pass is just every single hard working night, tear, cry, assignment, homework, project, paper, clinical, wanting to quit, thinking, why am I doing this moment, has all paid off. And here I am sitting here talking to you guys for the first time as an actual registered nurse with my BSN. I am so incredibly happy. It's insane. So grateful to be sitting here. I want to tell you guys about the experience because it was not what I expected. It didn't go the way that I planned, and it was pretty devastating and one of the worst days of my life. There's been quite a few of those, I feel lately. Last year is just, this whole past year has just been hell, but this experience, which is something that I worked towards and had prepared for so long, and then going the way that it went, I was just shook and devastated. So first I want to start out by telling you guys that every single Nclex experience is different. Mine is going to be nothing like yours. It could be similar, I don't know, but don't take my experience and get scared. I'm just here to explain to you guys what happened for me, and if it happens for you, maybe it'll help you. Maybe you'll watch this if this happens to you and feel better about yourself, or maybe you're watching this and you're like, whatever, mine was nothing like that, or you're watching it after your experience and you're like, I don't know. Anyways, I'm here to share and be real with you guys. I like being authentic and honest and sharing things people don't always talk about. And I know that there's not a whole lot of videos out there saying what I'm about to say, but there's people who get this, and it happens all the time. And I never really knew that. I kind of went into it, I'm telling you right now, I went into it more cocky than I should have been, because I just didn't think this would happen to me. So as you can tell by the title of this video, I got 265 Nclex questions. And if you know anything about the Nclex, you know that the questions are, you're automatically going to get 75 questions. That's the minimum, and the max you can receive is 265 questions. You have 6 hours to complete your exam, and you get 2 allotted breaks. The first break hits in, I believe it was 2 hours. I think I was at 140 questions. And then the third break was when I was I had an hour left or something stupid. Yeah. So I took my Nclex on January 19th. So that was 2 days ago. Today's Monday. And I prepared for my Nclex for probably a total of 2 weeks. I did not start preparing for it until we had moved in, and it had been a week after. So we moved in January 1st, and I really didn't start hardcore studying until after that. I had looked at things, but I did super well in school last semester. Everything had been good up to that point. I wasn't super scared. I felt my college had prepared me well, and they did. We had been prepping for Nclex for months. So I took the time I needed, which is perfectly acceptable. Another thing that I want to say is, if people are telling you that you need to get your ass in gear and take your Nclex, you do, but don't take it to heart and think that you need to be studying your ass off day in, day out. You don't. If you got your degree, if you're, graduating, take a break if you need one. You don't need to be just immediately grinding into your Nclex. It's not necessary. It's not all going to leave your brain. So, that's my opinion. It's my opinion. So I started studying
And I did what my school had recommended for us, and I absolutely hated it. I wanted nothing to do with it. It's ATI virtual. We had done ATI all throughout school, and I really had hated it. Like, I didn't love anything about it, but the person that was running my ATI virtual course, she just like wasn't on top of things. I had it all planned out how I was going to complete everything. And if you know anything about ATI virtual, it's a program that you take right before boards. It goes through each section, like OB, peds, med surg, all that shit, and you like get a green light at the end. The green light means that you're going to pass the Nclex. Basically, you have done everything, like you're doing great, blah, blah, blah. Well, I didn't really care. I didn't really want that. I just didn't feel like I needed a green light to be able to pass boards, because if I was able to get my degree, I'm perfectly competent enough to study how it's going to work for me personally and pass my boards. And I had talked to a lot of people previously, and like some of my friends had only done like half of virtual. Some people didn't do it at all. A couple of my friends had already taken boards, and they're like, yeah, like you're fine. So basically virtual wasn't working for me. So on my Instagram account, I have a lot of nurses. I love you guys so much. And a lot of you were telling me that you used UWorld. So I researched it. I looked into it. I looked into Hearst. I looked into UWorld. I had technically already paid for ATI, so I was kind of like against buying a different program. I didn't want to like buy another program at all. Like I was like, you know, I've already paid for this. Like I'm just gonna do this, but it truly wasn't working for me. So I just said, screw ATI virtual. I bought UWorld. My mom bought UWorld. Shout out to my mom. She bought me the 30-day quiz, 30-day quiz bank that has like 2,000 questions. It has the whole Q bank. You just don't get to take an assessment, which is fine with me. I just really needed to just study. So I started doing that every single day. I would allot out like 6 hours of my day each day for like a week and a half probably, that it was actually like 6 to 7, 8 hours a day where I would just sit there and do questions. I read every single rationale. I probably did about 800 of the questions out of 2,000. So if that gives you any idea. And I also had my ATI prep book. So I kind of flipped between my ATI prep book and UWorld, and I just did questions, and then I would write out the rationales if I didn't understand it. If there was something that I really truly wasn't catching on to, I would write it out and then look it up in my book, because that's just the way that if I write something out, it's just way easier for me. So my study method wasn't exactly anything that was out of this world. Like I didn't have like a specific strategic plan. I really just did what I needed to do. I also had my ATI sheet that kind of told me where my weaknesses were, because we take a predictor with ATI in school. So I already knew what my weaknesses were. So I really focused in on those and just did a ton of questions, reread the questions, redid the ones I missed, you know, like really focused in on where I was weak. So if you don't have that, my recommendation is to honestly just like go through, have a whole day dedicated to OB, a whole day dedicated to peds, med surg, mental health, pharm, fundamentals. And I think the other one is, I don't know. But the Nclex has, I think it's 8 criteria that you need to meet, and like all of those different things that I just said are in those categories. So look that up, figure it out, and like split up your studying time into each section just a little bit if you're prepping 2 to 3 weeks before, and just find out where you're weak. You know, if you're missing a lot of OB questions, you need to study OB, because I'm telling you that the Nclex literally took every weakness I have and zoned in on it. Like I could tell when I was missing questions because it was like coming up later. So it's like, shit, I didn't get it right. So that was my study method, UWorld and my ATI prep book, and I went between the two and I did tons of questions, and I just reviewed. I read things out of the ATI book and would do questions and would redo questions and just did tons of stuff. I would say I did about 100 to 150 questions a day. So that's just an average, and some of those questions were like reviewed from what I had missed. So like I said, I did about 800 total to prep. So moving into the Nclex, I did absolutely nothing the day before Nclex, which is what is recommended. They say, you know, if you don't know it by now, you're not going to, which is perfectly true. So I did nothing that day. I went and saw my mom, hung out with her a little bit, came back, Sam and I grabbed dinner here in town. And we sat down and watched Hell or High Water on Netflix, which I highly recommend watching that if you have not seen it. It was pretty good. So I went to bed at approximately 9. It was a flipping snowstorm blizzard the night before my boards. And I called them and I was like, hey, like, just checking in, like, want to know, like, if you guys close or anything, like, am I still gonna be able to take my boards in the morning? And she's like, well, are you forfeiting? I'm like, no, I'm just asking if, you know, you guys are gonna be there in the morning. She's like, oh yeah, we'll be here. I'm like, all right, cool. So I get up, I have coffee, I do my makeup, I put on Dress for Success clothes, and I get in my car and I drive there. I'm sitting outside, I'm getting ready to go in, and I'm like, you know, you got this. Like, I truly felt okay walking in. Like, I wasn't like freaking out or anything. Like, I was nervous, but I wasn't like super, super nervous, you know? It's just like, I just kept telling myself, I'm like, this is just like you're taking an ATI test in school. Pretend that you are sitting in the computer lab and you're taking an ATI test, which is exactly what I did. And so I walked in there, and it's literally like FBI in there. I mean, they take your handprints, they take I had to take my necklace off, my Bip and Bop necklace. I was like, okay, I don't know what I'm gonna do with that, but I had to take my necklace off. You couldn't have anything on your wrists, you know, they're making you pat yourself down, all that stuff. It's just, that's the way it is. So I go in there and I'm sitting, and I'm in a cubicle, and I can't hear anything. I had soundproof stuff on, which is great, and they tell you that. So I start my boards. There's like a practice section, whatever. I know I can't say a whole lot about it, and I can't like say a bunch of stuff about the questions because it's like illegal, but I started my boards. Feeling good, getting tons and tons of select all that apply, which is great if you are, just an FYI. That means you're doing good, according to my friends. So I'm going through my questions, and I should say while I'm talking about this, most of my friends had already taken their boards, and they all had 75 questions, and I think the max that I had heard somebody had was 120. That's it. 120 questions was the max. My best friends got 75s. 78. So yeah. So I hit 75 questions, and I was doing pretty good on time. I'm really, really good at answering a question in a minute. You know, I'd been like trained to do that. I was feeling good. I hit 75. It hit 76. My heart rate immediately went up. I could feel it beating in my chest. I could hear it because it's the only thing I could fucking hear with my soundproof. I had earplugs in, and I had big headphones on because I'm crazy like that. I need it to be silent. Hit 77, hit 78. I was like, okay. So I'm obviously not meeting this yet. So automatically my nerves, my heart rate, my blood pressure, everything was just rising. I was flipping out. I walked into that Nclex thinking I was going to take 75 questions because I thought I was that good. And I'm being honest, I literally walked in there and I was like, I got this. Like, I got this. And you want to be confident walking in there, but you're going to take away from this video what I'm about to say. Got to 80, got to 90, got to 100, got to 110, got to 120. I am losing my shit. I am literally like hyperventilating inside of my body. I couldn't hyperventilate right there, obviously, because it's in a testing center. My heart rate, like I was clenching my fists because I was flipping out. Like, I'm like, why? Why does this keep going? These questions are hard. Like, I don't understand why it hasn't stopped me yet. I obviously am fucking up something, so I need to get my shit together. I had to stop between like each question and take a deep breath. I had to calm myself down. I hit 150. I am at this point, like, I am not okay. My heart rate, I know that the anxiety is kicking in higher than it normally is during a test. I knew it was taking my body over, so I just kind of stopped for a second. I let it rise on that question at 150. And I was like, okay, you obviously are way past what everybody else got. That's okay. There's absolutely nothing you can do about this right now. You need to calm the hell down. Like, calm down. And it's 2 hours past. Like, everybody that I've taken is like, ooh, hour or an hour and a half. I'm like, I'm sitting here at 2 hours. You have 6 hours, by the way. So I get past 150. And I kept going and I kept going, and I am just shaking. These questions are like blurring. Like, I was just like, my sight was just like, I was like panic attacking inside of my body, but I knew I had to keep going. And the thing that they tell you in nursing school, and you don't listen because you're like, that won't be me, that'll never be me, which was what I thought. They're like, you know, it's okay, like, you can get 265 and pass, like, it'll be fine, like, keep going, no matter how many you get, like, it could take you a while to meet it, you could just be getting them, like, just keep going. And none of that was registering in my mind. All I was thinking was, oh my God, I'm doing terrible and I'm going to fail my boards. All I was thinking, you guys. I was thinking about every single one of my friends. I was thinking about, how is this happening to me? I prepped so hard. I worked so hard. I have my degree. Why is this happening? It kept going. 160, 170, 180, 190, 200. It hit 200 and I finally, it had asked me for a break already at 140. I didn't mention that. I said, fuck that. I'm like, no, I'm getting this done and I want to get the hell out of here. Didn't take that break. It hit 200. if I could look back, like my face was literally I kept doing this. I kept like adjusting. I like kept putting my head down to breathe because I was like, why is this happening? Like, why am I getting so many questions? And I already knew that my phone was going to be just freaking irate because everybody else had gotten out of it. Like everybody I knew in my class had like done super well. I mean, I don't know everybody, but like most people were getting 75s and getting out of there in an hour. So here I am, 2.5, 3 hours. It's about 3.5 hours later at this point, by the time I was at 200, and I was still sitting there. At that point, I finally had decided that I was getting 265 questions and I had to get over myself because I was starting to let the anxiety take over and I don't know if I was answering the questions as good as I could have. So I didn't take a break. What I did was I literally just sat there for like 5 minutes and like meditated. Like I had to breathe, like talk myself down. Like I'm like, Holley, like this is your flipping career. This is your life. This is what you've wanted. Do not fuck this up. You got this. Like you're fine. People pass at 265. Like you're going to be okay. But you guys have no idea how incredibly miserably difficult that is to do when you are sitting there and you're thinking in your mind, why is this me? Why do I have so many questions? Why? Am I really barely meeting this? But they say that if you're still getting questions, you're still in the game. Like you're still fine. You're still right there. You still have a chance. You're still in the game. 210, 220, 230. At 230, I finally was like, all right, this is bullshit. I'm getting 265. I had calmed down. My nerves were all better. Like I was okay. I'm like, I'm just gonna get this done and go. Literally get out of there. So 240, 250, 260, 265. I hit that last question, and the last question was to select all that apply, and it was hard, and I hit it, and it went to the next section. It was like, this is a special research section that we had been told we were going to get because they're prepping for the next boards, which if you don't know that, if you're taking your boards after this May, you're going to get a completely different style of Nclex than what we just had. They're doing like scenario stuff. I don't know what they're doing. Don't take that from me, but it's a totally different style of Nclex. So that's not fun. But yeah, we had to take questions to like prep for those. I think it was for the next set or the next, like the one from 3 years from now. They update it every 3 years. So I said, screw it. I hit end test. I didn't do any of the research questions because I literally was going to lose it. Like every emotion was just built up in my body and I couldn't breathe. And I was shaking. I thought my legs were going to give out when I raised my hand and had her come get me. I showed her my little flippin' whiteboard stuff that you can't erase. And I got up and I went back out. I had to do my handprint again, all this stuff. I got my stuff out of my locker and I was shaking. Like my legs were about to give out as I was walking out. And I got on the elevator and the tears started to pool in my eyes. And I was like, no, like you have to go out to your car. So I got to my car and I started hyperventilating. Like, I mean, like full blown, like I could have had I was hyperventilating. I couldn't see. My lips were numb. My face was numb. My arms, my hands were like literally like this. Like I was screaming in my car, like complete full blown dramatic panic attack. Dramatic. I know. So I sat there, I picked up my phone. I had over 30 text messages. I had a couple calls. I had notifications, all this shit. All I wanted to do was go home. I texted my best friend and I said, she had texted me a bunch of times because it was at that point, it took me 5.5 hours, it was 5 hours. So I took 5 hours out of the 6 to complete 265 questions, right? So I texted my friend first before I started driving and I said, I'm not okay. And she's like, what happened? And all I texted her back was 265. That's all I said. So hard to talk to people who don't know anything about nursing or the Nclex because they're like, oh, like, it's fine. It's like, no, it's not, dude. Like, it's not good to get 265. Like, yes, people pass, but like, you don't want 265 questions. That doesn't mean that you did great. That doesn't mean you did bad, but it's like, no. Not when all of your friends got 75 and you got 265 and you do nursing on YouTube and you have an Instagram channel. Like, I was devastated. I did not understand. So I get home, I can barely drive. My vision was literally slurring. I had to pull over my car because I was losing it. Like, I don't know what the hell. And I wasn't trying to. I was trying to pull myself together because I'm like, Holley, like, you're fucking strong. Like, get over yourself. This is fine. Like, you just failed your boards. It's okay. I wasn't okay. I was not okay. So yes, 100% walked out knowing I failed. That was my mindset, was you just failed your boards. Your life is over. What are you going to do? How are you going to tell people this? Like what is going to happen after this point? Like, what are you going to do? Like literally, what are you going to do? I start my job exactly 3 weeks from today, and I just was like, what are you going to do? Like, how are you going to tell your manager that you failed your boards? So that was my mindset. I got home, I looked at Sam, and he was standing in the garage door. Like, I had the door open when I opened the garage, and he was just staring at me, and I fucking lost it again. I got out of the car, I was shaking, I could not speak, trying to talk to him, hysterical, and he's like, you got them all, didn't you? And I'm like, yeah. And I literally couldn't, like, words could not form out of my mouth. So moving forward, I know you're probably thinking this is super dramatic, I'm sorry, but this was genuinely how I felt. So all of the makeup off my face was pretty much gone. So I went upstairs, I wiped it all off. I'm texting back all of my friends, not all my friends. I didn't text anybody back besides Bethany and Ashley, Sam's sister. It was Ashley, I talked to Ashley, Bethany, and Sam, and my mom. And this is why I'm making this video, because I want other people to not experience this the way I did. My biggest mistake was walking in there thinking that I was going to take 75 questions. You guys, I cannot express this to you enough. When you are going to take your Nclex, you need to prepare for 265 questions. I don't care how good you think you are. I don't care if you are like me and thought, oh, because all my friends are getting that many, I'm gonna get that many. Like, I knew that I could get more than that, and I thought I would, but I did not think that I would get 265. I was not prepared for that. Mentally, physically, emotionally, was not okay for that. And I got them all, and I got through it, but it was horrible, and every single second of it was misery. Like, I was counting down the questions. Like, I just wanted it to be done. So I got past all of them, and that whole entire day I thought I failed. I texted a friend of mine who last year had gotten 265, and she passed, and you know, I just, like, I tried to, like, just reason with her, because I was like, what did you do? Like, how did you feel about this? And she's like, you know, I wouldn't wish this feeling upon anyone. The waiting is the hardest, and everybody says that when you walk out of Nclex, you feel like you failed. And I truly, truly do agree with that. I feel like it's just like you feel like you fail because what it's going to do is it's going to test you where you're weak. I mean, if you're like, it's trying to get you to meet the competencies, but like if you get past 75, most of the time it's because you didn't meet something. So it's obviously something you're weak at, or the select all that applies are really hard. They really are though, they're hard. So, I mean, you just walk out feeling like you failed. But when you get 265, I was certain I failed. So, you don't get your quick results for 48 hours, which was this morning for me, that's 48 hours. And a lot of my friends got the notification on the Iowa Board of Nursing website, like you can go and find your license on there. But I couldn't do that yesterday because it's obviously the weekend and they're not there. So I waited till this morning, checked, and saw that I passed. I definitely knew yesterday and the day before that there was a chance I passed because I tried the Pearson View trick. And if you don't know what that is, look it up. I'm not gonna explain it because I don't even really know if it's honestly true. I mean, it worked for me, but I don't know if it's real or not. You know, like people, I don't know. I don't wanna like tell you guys to go do that, but if you do get 265, you'll probably end up doing it anyway. Cause I was like half and half, like, am I gonna do this? But I did it anyway. So I did that and I felt a little bit better. All my friends are like, yeah, you passed, dude, like you're fine. I'm like, no, like, no, like that's not, I don't know my results. So I'm not gonna sit here and say I passed. And then yesterday I did everything I possibly could to stay distracted. I checked the website at least 50 times. Same with Saturday. Like I was just hoping for a miracle that it would appear and it didn't. So I just did everything I could to distract myself. I wasn't on social media. I didn't want to talk to anybody. I didn't want to do anything. I didn't want to eat. I didn't want to talk. I just wanted to be in misery, basically. And that's horrible, but it's the truth. It's so difficult to wait for results like that when it determines your life. So yeah, that's my Nclex story. A lot of you may think that it's dramatic or whatever, but I came from a school where they told us that the average that the school gets is 75 to 120, and we have a really freaking high pass rate. So I, during that test, was just thinking to myself, like, why is this me? Like, how is this me? Like, I work so hard for what I flipping learned in school. Like, I loved learning the information, and I thought I knew it, but like, I just kept getting questions, and I'm not gonna say that the questions were like super easy or super difficult. It was a mix of both, but like, I don't know. It was really traumatic and horrible, but it's over, and I can say that I'm an RN. Yeah, there's no other feeling like this. So if you take anything away from this video, it is that you need to walk into the Nclex preparing to take 265 questions. Whether you get that money or you don't, prepare for it, because I would never want anybody to experience that feeling during the test or after, for that matter, ever again. Like, no, I wouldn't wish the feeling on anybody. It's honestly the worst feeling in the entire world. So prepare yourself, mentally prepare yourself. Don't be discouraged if you get 265. I'm a living proof that you can get 265 and pass. You can get 75 and pass. You can get 150 and pass, you guys. Like, keep the faith. You can do this. I promise you can do this. If I can do this and get through it, you can do this and get through it. So at the end of the day, I would say I probably studied for boards for 2 weeks. Could I have studied longer? Absolutely. I probably could have. Could I have done better? Probably. Would I do anything different? No. The 265 was meant to happen to me, and that's just the way that it happened. I mean, that was my destiny. That was God testing me, and God, did he test me. So yeah, that's my Nclex story. I'm so happy to share anything with you guys. If you have any questions about it, I will try and answer them in the comments below. Thank you guys all so much for your support. I love every single one of you. I read all of your comments, all of your positive words on all social media platforms. I appreciate you all so much. If you guys want to see more videos, which I have tons coming now that I have a life and I feel free, literally feel free, it's unreal. Let me know down in the comments below, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye guys.